Hello, girls. So, what you are looking at right now are night crawlers. They're another type of earthworm. There's actually night crawlers and redworms on this tray. And your job today is going to be to observe the night crawlers and the redworms and compare them. Now, I'm just going to keep the camera um, focused on these little guys um, right now because they're actually moving around a lot more now than they were a couple of minutes ago when I first put them out here. They actually weren't moving at all when I first put them in these trays. So, and I feel really terrible about not being able to send you a night crawler, but the company that I ordered from only sent me 12 to begin with. And then the first day I was checking them out, I took them out to rinse them off so I could count them and see what I was dealing with here, and one went down my drain. So now I only have 11, and I need to have one for each student in the class because they're not allowed to share. And so I wasn't able to send any home with you. I'm sorry about that. Um, I was hoping they would send me more than 12. But as you can see, there are two night crawlers in here, and there are two redworms. And these little buggers are pretty cool. And I just want you to take a moment and observe them. Okay? So I know you can't pause the video because if you pause the video, then you can't observe them. So I am just going to sit here and be quiet for a couple of minutes. And maybe I might try to fool with the camera a little bit to see if I can. Maybe I'll turn my lights on. I thought it was pretty bright in here, but maybe it's not bright enough. Let me go turn my lights on. Hold on. That made it a little brighter. I want you to be able to see these guys up close, but every time I take the camera and move it closer, it kind of gets blurry. Let me see. That is so hard to do. It's kind of blurry now. I was gonna shine a flashlight on it too, but then my flashlight didn't have any batteries in it, so I couldn't do that. But you can see, you can compare pretty easily the night crawler and the redworm. Both night crawlers and redworms are a type of earthworm. And I'm sure right off the bat, you can already compare a lot of things that are the same and different about redworms. Put this back down. And night crawlers. I'm trying to get a certain can you see through the skin? Can you see how they move? Do the night crawlers move the same way as a redworm moves? It's hard for you to see, isn't it? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this because I think this video quality is just a little on the blurry side, and this is the only camera I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some really cool videos of night crawlers up close, and redworms you've already seen up close. You can't get much more up close and personal to redworms than the ones that you have in your very own house. And so I'm going to find some really cool videos of night crawlers, and then I'm going to have you videos and pictures of night crawlers, and I'm going to have you look at them closely. And then what I want you to do is I want you to take some time comparing night crawlers and redworms, and I want you to talk about how they are the same and how they are different. We've done this lots of times. It's not anything new. We're always comparing things to see how they are the same and how they are different. Now, I do have some questions written down here that I want you to think about as well as you're observing the night crawlers. Can you see the segments on the night crawler, or can you not? Do they move the same way? Are their bodies shaped the same way? Can you feel, and oh, I feel bad. This is a can you feel one. I was going to say, can you feel any bristles or hairs on the worm? But you don't have any to feel. Do they look the same? Or do they look different? Or is it both? And then I want you to talk to me about other things that you notice comparing, if I haven't already mentioned it, comparing the two. Can you see the clitellum better on an earthworm than a redworm? Because you can see it on the redworm, so can you see it on the earthworm too? Is it easier or harder to see? Why? Okay, so that is going to be your job for today, and I'm going to post the pictures, the pictures or videos. They'll be posted right next to this video on the same slide in the virtual classroom. How's that, to make it really easy? So you go do that now, pause this video, and then come back to it because I'm going to read you a quick book from our science kit. Okay? So pause the video, and then when you come back, you can listen to the book. Okay, so this, let me move this. This is called Worms in Soil, and this actually has some pretty awesome pictures of worms in it. So this says worms are animals. Where do you find worms? Well, these worms live in soil. They get water and food in their soil. Worms need air, space, and shelter too. They get what they need, though, from the soil that they make. Some worms live in compost piles. Can you see the worms on the plants and soil? What are they doing? They're breaking it down, aren't they? Eating it. Worms eat the dead leaves and the fruit, and then they turn the old plant parts into soil. And then the soil helps the young plants grow. Some worms burrow deep in the soil, and others stay near the top. See, this one's deep, and then this one says, I'm going to stay close to the top. Damp leaves lie on top of the soil. Worms can stay moist under the leaves. They also find food there. Worms have segments. The segments help the worm move. And I think this is a really cool picture because you can like see the internal organs of the worm. Really neat. Oh, this is a great picture. Adult worms have a clitellum. The clitellum makes a case for worm eggs. Oh, that's what the clitellum's for. Baby worms grow inside the eggs. A worm's skin is moist and smooth. Worms breathe through their moist skin. Some worms live on the land and some worms live in fresh water or salt water. How are these worms the same? How are they different? Look at that one. That's weird. That's our next book. Okay. Egads. They've all stretched out, look. I bet you can tell the head and the tail. Okay. So, again, sorry I couldn't send you a worm. I'm even more sorry I dropped one down my drain in my sink. I feel bad about it, as you can tell. Anyway, check out well, you already did check out the other videos and post onto Seesaw your thoughts and ideas and your writing about how worms are the same and how worms are different. How these worms are the same and how these worms are different. Okay, have fun. Bye.